Heather Mullins with Real America's Voice. We are in North Carolina, Greenville, at the North Carolina GOP convention, and I have with me a big popular person in the House tonight, Lieutenant Governor Mark Robinson. You had the crowd on their feet. You're a huge inspiration to a lot of people here in North Carolina. What is your message to the people not in this room? The people, we heard several speakers tonight talking about growing the Republican Party. What is your message to those people?
Well, I think my message to those people would be that, the freedoms that we have in this country are in peril. And it is time that if you want to hold on to those freedoms, that you need to come join us. You need to get involved in this process. And I believe that if you love freedom, there's no other party that you can choose but the Republican Party. And we just encourage them to come on out and join us and get active and get involved to save this nation.
I know you told your story of basically living the American dream, going from the bottom and to where you're at now as the Lieutenant Governor of North Carolina. Now, for people that are, in that position where the left's telling them that isn't there anymore, how do you tell them, what was your source of inspiration? What drove you, and what can other people learn from you to take that same path upward?
My source of inspiration is to look at people who have come before me and see what they've done. There have been people who faced far more difficult circumstances than I have. Not only did they have to deal with maybe poverty and alcoholism and the things that I dealt with, but they also had to deal with with extreme bigotry that that has been erased from this country for the most part. And they dealt with that, and a lot of those people not only survived, they thrived. And I know that if they could do that under their circumstances, and if other folks could do it under the circumstances they lived under, then we can definitely do that now. And so the people who come before us is the ones I always draw inspiration on.
Absolutely. And as far as your faith, that was you talked about that a lot too. What we're seeing in America, the pushback from the left on people with religious beliefs and things of that nature. How do we grow that in that area?
Well, I think it's just time that we really take a good hard look and look at some of the miraculous things that have happened in this nation. There have been wars that we've won that we shouldn't have won. There have been times in this nation that seemed dark and hopeless, and it turned around when this nation turned to God and fell down on his knees and prayed for his guidance and prayed for his support and his wisdom. And once they got that, this nation did survive. It's what we've always relied on in this nation, and I think we need to remember that. And we need to remember the fact that God, we make God the head of our lives, he can lead us through any difficulty that we see. And I think once we do that, more people will start to come back to that.
Amen. Amen. And so for you, your future political aspirations, I know you had a red cloth up there. Can you tell us a little bit about what that means?
Well, it's just that red cloth, that towel is a further affirmation of my commitment to this state, to the state of North Carolina. There was a time when some folks were wanting me to run for the Senate and go off to Washington, D.C., but we truly feel like our calling is right here in this state for the people of this state. And that is just a symbol of how, just saying we're here, we're going to stay, we're going to continue to fight for the people of North Carolina.
Absolutely, absolutely. And one last thing here, what do you think President Trump is going to say when he addresses North Carolina tomorrow?
I have no idea, but every time I've heard him, he's been magnificent, and I have no doubt that tomorrow will be the exact same.
Oh, well, he's got some big shoes to follow up because you were a rock star tonight. Well, super happy to have him here. Mark Robinson, Lieutenant Governor of North Carolina. He's amazing. You got to check this guy out. Follow him. He's the voice of reason. So we're going to be back tomorrow, more on Real America's Voice.